Hi, hello. I wanted to talk about how I feel like a lot of trans people will say, "Oh, we've always been the gender that we are." So like, if it's a trans man, they'll be like, I've always been a man. I was born this way. I've always been a man. I just was born as a female and now I'm transitioning, blah, 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 blah. And like vice versa, I feel like male to female. And I'm not saying that's not true, but I think my experience is a little like different. It's hard to say that like I've always felt like a man. It's really hard to say. Like, for one, I didn't know that I was trans when I was younger. The popular narrative is like, I knew when I was 5. I knew when I was 6. You know what I mean? I learned the definition of trans, or I met a trans person and it spoke to me. Like, when I was questioning my gender, it was not like that. I had no idea when I was younger. My mum really forced gender on me. One of my sisters was like, "Have you always felt this way?" And I was like, I gave her the short answer. This is the long answer for you. But yeah, I basically told her that mum forced gender on me. I don't even think it would have been possible to know. But I was born this way. I was born trans. But I had no idea, and I would have never have known. My mum, I guess she had certain expectations. No, not even I guess. She did. She had expectations for me. You know, she wanted me to be a certain thing, dress a certain way, act a certain way. And it was really like down to like the smallest detail. Like, one example was I was sitting like upside down on the chair. And then she comes into the room. I was in primary school, because I remember I was in my primary school full uniform. So, between 6 and 12, my age. And she walks in and she's like, "Sit like a lady." And I didn't really understand what she meant, but I understood what she meant. Because I'm just sitting down in this scenario in my head. I was just being silly, being goofy. I was like, it'll be fun to watch TV upside down. So I'm sitting, and then she comes in and says, "Sit like a girl." And my immediate thought is like, what does a girl sit like? Like, I am in a school with boys and girls, but we all sit the same. Like, I don't understand. But I also did understand that she didn't want me to sit how I was sitting. You know, stuff like that. And a lot of the times people would mistake me for a guy when I was in primary school. I don't know why. It actually pissed me off at the time, because it pissed my mum off. She was like, "No, she's a girl. She's a girl." And I remember she told me, like, "Make sure you tell people you're a girl." I was just like, I mean, I don't remember if I cared or not that people were, I guess, no, they weren't misgendering me, because they were right. But mistaking me for a guy at the time. I don't think it bothered me, per se. It confused me, because, like, again, up until this point, my mum is like, no, you're a girl. Eat like a girl, walk like a girl, sit like a girl, blah, 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 dress like a girl, all of that. So it confused me in my head, because, like, my mum told me this information, I am a girl. Why are people confusing me? You know what I mean? And I when I looked in the mirror when I was younger, I thought I looked like a girl. I was so confused. Like, it's not like I was, like, masculine presenting then, because, like, when I was a child, my mum dressed me. My mum, and she dressed me, and I wore school uniform, which was skirts. I really don't know. And, like, I played a lot of sports on the playground, and I played with all the boys, mostly with the boys on the playground and stuff. And I don't know if people saw that and was like, "Oh, that must be a little boy." Like, very rigid thinking. Sports hangs out with the boys, and also black. Like, I feel like it all just came together and was like, boy. That, or maybe when I had my cornrows in, like, I didn't think I looked like a boy, is what I'm saying. That was a little bit of a rant, because it really pissed me off, because it really pissed my mum off. And then people would call me a tomboy, which is just a describing word, you know what I mean? I was a tomboy. That's what people would call me. And it never bothered me, not once, because, like, I didn't care. It seemed accurate, actually, so I was happy to wear that label. This is in primary school again. I was happy to wear that label. And I remember one day someone called me a tomboy, and I was like on my way home from school, like my mum was picking me up, and she was like, don't let people call you a tomboy, you're not a tomboy. It's like, okay, sure. Like whatever my mum said, I would be like, I would do what my mum said. Like I was a good child. I was just trying to make my mom happy in any way. So I was like, okay. And she's like, just say you're a girl who likes sports. So that's what I started saying. People kept calling me tomboy. I'm like, no, I'm not a tomboy. I'm a girl who likes sports. That's what I would say. I never believed it once. I didn't even care. So it was really, really like hit hard. Like my mom literally telling me to tell other people to make sure they know that I'm a girl. I didn't even think about it that hard ever. I never thought about it that hard. It never was that deep. I remember one time, this story pisses me off. I don't know why this one does, but like my mom really micromanaged, if like for lack of a better term. No, I think that's the term. That is the only way to describe it. So I'm walking, we're at like a shopping center, but not a center, an outlet. That's it, shopping outlet. And then I'm walking a little bit ahead of mom, I think, or maybe more next to her. And then she goes, you walk like a man. I was like, oh, okay. Ready to go about on my day. I just thought she was like, noticing something about me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're black. That's how it sounded to me. I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, women walk with their hips. Men walk with their shoulders. So you should walk with your hips. I was like, oh, this is going to turn into a thing. And it turned into a thing. And so she showed me. She was like, so let me show you. So she showed me, and she demonstrated, like, walked with her hips, which is not how she naturally walks. You know what I mean? She accentuated a little bit. Like, she added a tiny little movement. And I was like, okay, cool. And then she showed me how I walked, which was with my shoulders. I do walk my shoulders. Her analysis was correct. And then she was like, now you try. Now walk like a woman. So I was just like, okay, I just need this to be over as quickly as possible. So I did it. I walked like a woman. And then she's like, that's good. That's how you should walk. That's how women walk. And I was like, okay. I tried it for like 2 seconds, and then I felt uncomfortable because it wasn't natural to me. And then I just walked behind my mom and walked how I normally walked. But that story really annoys me because like it was that kind of thing, and you don't realize it's happening when you're a child. But like why are you micromanaging my walk? I'm just a child. Just let me be. Who cares if I walk with my shoulders like a boy? And so like this is going on throughout my entire life. And then I'm old enough that my mum stopped dressing me. I think she stopped dressing me maybe when I got to secondary school, maybe like year 8. So like 13, 14 years old, I started dressing myself. The minute I started dressing myself, I stopped wearing skirts, stopped wearing dresses, stopped wearing anything that could be slightly feminine. And I didn't like skirts and dresses for a long time because of that. I don't mind them now. I'm not gonna pick them up, like, unless it's cute. But like, I'm not gonna go outside in one. When I was younger, my mom's dressing me and she always put me in skirts and dresses and stuff. I always told her, I'm like, Mom, I don't wanna wear this. And she's like, you're wearing it. Classic black mom, like, you're wearing it. You're gonna eat the food that I'm cooking for you. Like, you can't tell a black parent, I don't want this for dinner. You're eating it, okay? It doesn't matter. So I'm wearing it. So that's what I wore. But she stopped dressing me, and that was really fun. I liked when she stopped dressing me because I just dressed how I wanted and I felt comfortable. But the micromanaging was still there. She was like, why do you dress like a boy? I was like, I don't know. I didn't even really register that I was dressing like a boy. Again, she's stating the fact. I was dressing like a boy, but I was just picking clothes that I like. That's all it was. And those comments are there every day, almost every day when I started dressing myself. Like, why are you dressing like a boy? So it's always reinforcing that what I'm doing is wrong. I should be doing the girl thing. And I never was doing the girl thing. There'll be some occasions in my life where I would put on a dress and like put restrictions on myself that my mum didn't explicitly tell me. Like one time I went to a concert with my friend. I was 18 maybe. Hadn't even started questioning my gender, but I was like, I want to wear something nice to the concert, but I don't know what's nice and my style, so let me just wear a dress. And also my mum will appreciate that I'm wearing a dress. This was my first concert, so I thought, I don't know, in the back of my mind, I thought if I wore a dress, it would be better than I'm going to this concert for the first time, you know what I mean? You know, first time jitters, calm her nerves. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, but it was a restriction on myself. It was a nice dress and I looked good. Don't even get me wrong, okay? Nice dress and I looked good, but it wasn't me. You know what I mean? It wasn't me. So like, that's all going on. Where in all this time in my life could I have ever been like, oh, am I a boy? Never. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to sit there and be like, I always knew, because it was never allowed to cross my mind. That pathway was blocked because my mum is just spewing girl at me as I'm growing up. Where is there time to even like question? There's no time. In that regard, knowing all that information, I don't feel like, yeah, I've always been a guy. I was born this way. Like, I would have found out this information about myself, the fact that I am trans. It would have happened, whether it would have happened at 62 or 23, which is how old I am now, or 51 or 35, you know, or if my mum wasn't forcing gender on me all the way back then. Like, it would have happened. I know that for a fact, but I haven't always known, and I didn't feel like a man then. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm just different from these people, there was something wrong, because I'm a very free-spirited person, always have been, and I just didn't care back then. I was a child. If my mom wasn't micromanaging my walk and my sitting and my eating and my dressing, I just would have been vibing. Literally just would have been vibing. So I don't feel like I was, I mean, it's weird to say because I was born a man, because I am a man. Hello, it's a new day because I'm in different clothes. I have my little fidget toy here. I ran out of storage, but I rewatched what I was saying, and what I was trying to say is, yeah, I don't feel, I do and I don't. I'm not saying anything. I do and I don't. I don't feel like I was born a man because gender was so forced on me. However, I am a man and I feel like a man now, and so that's weird. At the same time, like I don't know, I'm attached to the girl I was raised as. I was the girl I was raised as because I was socialized and raised as a girl. So I was that person. But it also feels like I've grown into a man. I've grown into myself. I was raised one way. They thought I was a girl. It's right, it happens. Everyone makes mistakes. But I've grown into a different person, and that person just so happens to be a man. I find it very similar to, like, if I grew up one way, let's say like really good at maths, and then suddenly I just had a knack for like writing poems, and then I decided to be a poet. You've just grown up. You've grown into something, and you realized, okay, I am good at maths. I was a girl, but I've grown into something else. I've grown into a poet. That's not to equate the decision of becoming a poet to trans people. Being trans is not a decision. It's kind of like that. I literally can't explain it anywhere else. It's just that I've grown into a different person than I was, obviously, because people grow up. I grow up. I hope people grow up. And it just so happens that person is a guy. It's just a different gender to what we thought. And so I feel a lot of things. I feel like I always was this person. I always was going to grow into a different person because I'm all about growth. I wanted to always become better. And so this would have happened. I am trans. I am who I am. And so it was always going to happen. But I didn't know that when I was young. My parents didn't know that when I was young. We thought I was a girl. And so they raised me that way. Obviously, societally, they saw a vagina at birth and they were like, girl, because that's what we do as a society. We just go based off the genitals. And you can see why that doesn't work, because it's wrong. I'm not a girl. So it's a really strange feeling, but it's not the feeling that I've known all along that I was a boy. You know, I just didn't have the language to describe it. I think that's the popular thing that you hear about trans people. And it really stopped me. It really stopped, like, delayed my egg cracking. Like, I didn't know I was trans when I was young. And so I was like, okay, because I didn't have that experience, I must not be trans. Otherwise, I would have known when I was younger. I mean, I can make another video about that. There's a lot that stopped me from realizing I was trans. But my experience was not the popular experience, obviously, because people are different. I'm a different person. And yeah, that's kind of the video. I ran out of storage right when I was in the middle of like a lot of thoughts. But I think I rewatched some of the clip back and I think I captured it. So you can see how confusing it is, like being in my brain and like my childhood and like why I do not feel like I've always been a man, but I am a man. In other news, fresh cut. I'm filming this on New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve. So it's 31st of December. So I'm 2 weeks and a few days on T, on low dose. Quickly, some changes that's happened that I've noticed. I haven't noticed this, but my girlfriend has noticed this. She said my bum has got bigger, just like more round, kind of more bigger. And then we were taking some pictures. I'm like, I kind of think you're right. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I don't know what's happened. Maybe like my diet. I feel like she's gonna notice more than I'm gonna notice. I don't sit there staring at my bum, so I believe her, and I feel like she's kind of right. So that's a pleasant surprise. That's kind of it. The hype of being on T has died down. I was super happy for like a week. I was on cloud 9. I was like, gosh, my brain feels so aligned. It felt like my brain was just running on the right stuff now, and like everything was so good. But like now I'm just chill, and I just feel like I still feel super aligned. I just feel like sometimes I have an out of body experience when I'm just like living my life. Like say I'm sitting at work and sometimes I would like come out of myself and I would be looking at myself and I would see a man sitting at the table where I am sitting right now. And then I would come back into myself and realize, oh, that's not the same person that I saw. That person had a flat chest and big shoulder. Like I'm not seeing the same person. Now sometimes I come out of myself and I see myself, I see a man, and I come back in, and I kind of still see him. He's kind of still there. He's cute. He's not fully there, but I don't know how to explain it. I come back into myself and I still feel like myself. Whereas before I would come into myself and I would be like, this is not the same person. So I still feel like myself, but my body is not physically there, but I feel, I don't know. I feel on the right track, I guess. So that's a little update, but I'll do it like monthly and stuff. It is absolute torture having to put gel on every day. I have to put it on every day on my shoulder. I can't live like this. The ADHD won't let me. I've almost forgotten a handful of times. My girlfriend's had to remind me. It does not take half an hour to dry as per the instructions. It takes an hour and I can't do anything. Or, I mean, I use that time to exercise now, like do my push-ups, because that's the only thing I want to do, because I'm such a clumsy person. I don't want to like walk into the wall and it rub off, or like accidentally touch my girlfriend and it transfers to, like, I just feel like I can't do anything. It's so annoying. I've already spoken to the endocrinologist about getting libido, so I fucking want that. I can't wait until 6 months. I'll probably record another video because there has been some updates with my endocrinologist. They've sent me some stuff and I'll just walk through that a bit better. But for now, that's me signing off. I feel like I should have an outro or something, but I don't know. So Happy New Year. Here's to 2025. I was gonna say cowabunga. I stopped myself because that was cringe. All right, see you later. Bye.